Good afternoon, we're team number 6 and we're going to present our educational video about the street visits.
Introduction. Learning about the animals from different habitats, their ways of living, places where they are found, and their in the life cycle is such an important thing to do since people often forget that hurting them, occupying their habitats, hunting them, killing them, not only affects them as individuals, but it also affects us as humans. We need to learn what to do and not to for us to help them survive and live peacefully instead of oppressing them on their own living spaces. This video will give you that information each component found in the habitat of these animals, and it will help you understand why we should preserve them.
California sea lion, Salaphus californianus, are found in shoreside waters of the eastern North Pacific Ocean, and prefer surfaces like sandy beaches, rocky platforms, even though they also live in man-made structures, such as jetties, piers, and other platforms, and they also live in marina docks. The principal breeding zone is from the Channel Islands in southern California to central Mexico. They opt for warmer climates of Mexico and California. Some beauty factors that affect their ecosystem are their prey, such as rockfish, mackerel, squid, anchovy, and whitebeam. Anabiotic factors are water, soil, wind, and sand. Their position in the food chain is in the third level, since they are tertiary consumers and carnivores. The importance in the food chain is that they feed the killer whales, since they are their prey. Without them, killer whales would extinct because there will be no food for them. Crabs will have to extinct since there will be a lot of fishes eating them. And their consumer type is the tertiary consumers, carnivores. They feed from squid, rockfish, anchovy, mackerel, and whiting.
The rhinoceros, or the scientific name Ceratotherium simon, they live in South Africa, especially in bushveld zones near the Nile region. They live openly in the coverton forest and they in the nearby plains. The adult male tends to have a territory of 2 kilometers in size for several years. The climate in which the rhinoceros live can be very extreme weather, since they can go from a 34 degrees Celsius to a negative 2 degrees Celsius. Some biotic factors that are around the rhinoceros is their vegetation. In other words, their food. Also, a cool fact about rhinoceros is that they do not have real predators in the wild besides human. Also, they have grass, bushes, trees, fruits, lions, warthers, and oxpecker. The oxpecker is the little bird that we can see in the image that is above the rhinoceros. Some abiotic factors in the ecosystem is the sunlight, the wind, the temperature, and many more. Their position in the food chain falls in primary consumers, feeding on variety of vegetation types, leading to their consumer type. They are herbivores, and they eat grass, forbs, roots, bulbs, sugar, leaves, flowers, shrubs, and bark. There are some examples of vegetation. The importance of rhinoceros in the food chain is that they are a driving factor of the ecosystem. However, the destruction of these mega herbivores could have serious cascading effects on the ecosystem and harm other animals as well.
Elephants, or Loxodonta. Habitat. They are found mostly in savannas, grasslands, and forests, but they also occupy a wide range of other habitats. They are usually found in the tropical and subtropical regions of Africa and Asia. Climate. Most African elephants live in the savanna, where it is grassy with individual trees scattered throughout. They cover almost half of Africa's total surface, and there is an average of 20 to 50 inches of rain each year, and the temperature varies between 60 and 75 degrees. Some biotic factors we have are tigers, birds, snakes, and other reptiles. We have monkeys, bats, trees and plants, and many different types of insects. Some abiotic factors that are found in their biome are soil, water, air, and sunlight. Their position in the food chain Elephants are considered primary consumers since they feed off of a variety of vegetation. Consumer type. Elephants are herbivores and will almost eat anything vegetarian, ranging from leaves, bark, twigs, brushes, fruits, and flowers. Importance in their food chain. Elephants play an important role in supplying nutrients to the soil by defecating and urinating around watering holes and other worn away areas of land. Their waste products play a vital role in the nutrient cycle, sometimes supporting entire ecosystems such as that of dung beetles, scavengers, along with a whole host of other decomposers and detritivores.
African penguin or Sphenus demerosus. African penguins are found in coastal areas and offshore islands. They prefer habitats that have flat sandy areas with abundant vegetation. There are two populations on the mainland in South Africa, at Betty's Bay and Boulders Beach in the Cape Town. They usually live in places that are around 5 to 20 degrees Celsius. Their position in it's found in the third trophic level because they consume primary consumers. They store only 1% of energy passed from the second trophic level. They are secondary consumers, carnivores. They usually eat small fish, mollusks, and aquatic crustaceans. Biotic factors. The biotic factors that surround them are the aquatic animals that they eat or the animals that eat this species, and also the algae. Sometimes they hide their babies there from the predators. And the abiotic factors are the sand, where they put their eggs until they hatch, the water in the coast, where the organisms that they eat live, the temperature, and the nutrient enrichment. Importance in the food chain. The African penguins feed predators such as seals and keep the small fish and mollusk population at a low level. If the penguins did not exist, seals would extinct due to the lack of food and energy, and obviously is going to be present an imbalance in some species. Human activities have made some alterations to the African penguin habitat. The population, which affects the temperature and the pH of the sea. These factors kill the prey of this species and the extraction of fish and corals. As a result, now the African penguin is on the endangered species list. As I already mentioned, penguins are important in the ecosystem because they maintain the balance of many species.
Hi everyone, and welcome to the Monterey Bay Aquarium Sea Otter exhibit. Sea otters are known for their playful antics, and Ivy is here to show us how it's done. With bright blonde fur, a big wide nose, and a distinctive blonde spot on her belly button, Ivy's impossible to miss when she's on exhibit. Ivy's really embraced the blondes have more fun lifestyle too. As one of our younger otters, her liveliness and energy have earned her the nickname Wild Child from our sea otter staff. She can often be spotted wrestling and playing with our other otters, especially fellow youngster Kit, in the sea otter spa, or grabbing as many toys and enrichments as her paws can hold. Our staff make intricate puzzles for her to solve to encourage Ivy's natural curiosity. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you'd like to know more about our sea otters here at the aquarium and the important work we're doing to save these awesome animals in the wild, check out our sea otter playlist here or follow the links in the description below. See you next time.
As we saw, the next animal that we're going to talk about is a sea otter, or by its scientific name, Enhydra lutris. This aquatic member of the weasel family is found along the coast of the Pacific Ocean in North America and Asia. The sea otter spends most of its time in water, but in some locations comes ashore to sleep or rest. Their habitat can be found in a variety of coastal marine habitats, including rocky shores and sea bottoms, sandy sea bottoms, as well as coastal weatherlands. Sea otters naturally inhabit offshore areas with an abundance of food and kelp canopy. Climate. They tend to live in ocean depths shallower than 130 feet, with water temperatures ranging between 36 degrees Fahrenheit and 60 degrees Fahrenheit. Now let's talk about some of the abiotic and biotic factors. First, we have the biotic factors, which are mainly prey items, include sea uncrunchies, abalone, carps, mussels, clams, marine snails, marine worms, sea stars, and squid, which is mainly the animals that they eat. Now, the abiotic factors is the sea, sand, temperature, rocks. And rocks is because they use them as a tool to eat. Moving on, we have their position in the food chain. They can be found in the third level of food chain since they are carnivores. Their consumer type is carnivore. They dine on such aquatic creatures as sea urchins, crabs, squid, octopuses, and fish. They are actually really important in the food chain, since it is a top predator of invertebrates along the California coast. Changes in the health of its population can make scientists aware of variations in the ocean environment itself. This is why it is considered a keystone species.
Now, the koala, or Phascolarctos cinereus. The habitat of the koala comprehends an extended range throughout the eastern Queensland and New South Wales, most of Victoria, and the southern tip of South Australia. The natural habit and also the tree which koalas feed are eucalyptus tree. The climate over there, the climate of its habitat, it's about 80 degrees. They feel comfortable in this temperature because they have a thick hair and skin that helps them to isolate the cold weathers. The position of the koala on the food chain, it's the second level of food chains because they're primary consumers. They're herbivores. They feed only by plants, especially the eucalyptus tree. The biotic factors are that surround them are predators, human deforestation, and hunters. And the abiotic factors are the climate changes, the flooding, the temperature of the eucalyptus leaves, etc. The consumer type, as we already said, it's herbivore. It's mainly feeds from the eucalyptus trees. The importance of the koala in the food chains, they're indispensable for the maintaining of health of the ecosystem, especially in Australia. They consume the excess vegetation and they reduce the biomass of fuels, frequent and intense fires. During the rainy seasons, drops some nutrients by their excrement and helps the insect and small rodents food chain. They serve as fertilizers and they help the nature as well.
Conclusion. Human activity has an immense impact in these animals' ecosystems, mainly because all of our resources to obtain materials that help us in our daily lives come from the nature. But sadly, most of these actions are negative and not very helpful at all for the wildlife located in these places. Humans often search resources for their own benefit, this to live better economically, politically, and socially, but we affect the nature in a negative way indirectly to all the living beings from those ecosystems. Thank you for your attention.